this week, it's joining Starbucks, Costco, General Mills, and even more in the move toward cage-free eggs.
You know, Target's saying it wants to sell only cage-free eggs by 2025, a radical change to what their dairy section looks like right now. Spokesperson says Target believes that animals should be raised in clean, safe environments, free from cruelty, abuse, or neglect. Of course, a cynic would say, why do you believe that now instead of believing that 5 years ago or 10 years ago when people were pushing for this kind of thing?
A cynic would say that.
A cynic might say that, or a journalist might say that. But the question we're asking is about cage-free eggs, because people see the marketing, but then you start to think, Heather, what exactly does cage-free mean? What is a cage-free egg?
And as we chatted earlier, it seems kind of obvious, cage-free, so no cages.
cage, right.
But cage-free eggs can mean a whole lot of different things. It just means that the birds aren't in little cages.
Little cages. So right now they're in individual cages. And you said sometimes they're so small like that they can't even raise their wings up.
So right now 94% of eggs that we eat in the United States are they're in these things called battery cages. Sometimes it's 1, 2, 3 chickens in the tiny cage.
It's very efficient.
It's very efficient for egg production. It's most cost efficient. And years ago, we used to have the animals outside, and there was a kind of a safety issue to bring all of them inside. And so now, as more people are becoming aware of where their food comes from, they're making this push towards having more humane treatment of the animals that we eat.
So cage-free, they're now in a big room?
Yes,
Is that
so
kind
the
of
USDA defines cage-free as being in a big room or a building and having some flexibility to move around. But it doesn't
not range
mean,
chickens yet.
No, it doesn't mean they have access to the outside. It doesn't mean that they can just roam around wherever they want.
Doesn't mean that it's good conditions?
Not necessarily. So that's what they say. Cage-free can really mean a lot of things depending on who is raising the chickens.
But you think, certainly, I mean, collecting the eggs is a lot different process than kind of being in those small cages and the egg kind of drops down and there you
some
go.
of the traditional egg producers will say, look, it's a lot harder to do that.
Right.
That in fact they can lead to higher mortality rates. This is what the traditional egg producers say, and it's going to cost you more. It costs more to buy these cage-free
But consumers
eggs.
are saying that's what they want.
And they say that's what's worth it. Now, why it's taking Target 10 years? That was my question. Why does it have to take 10 years? But if you think about it, right now we just don't have the infrastructure set up to be able to do that, to efficiently produce enough eggs for your Targets and your McDonald's and your Starbucks and your Dunkin' Donuts and your Costco's and everyone who has made this move
It's going to take time
year.
to make that adjustment.
Right.